Mr. Tafumane. I want to firstly appreciate and thank the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce for hosting this business agenda on Friday for us. And, applaud them because in any environment, the country's economic trajectory can only succeed where the issue of security and safety takes center stage. And in this regard, no business can afford to operate in an environment where there is lawlessness, as alluded to by the moderator, where there is chaos, where there is congestion. And the public can only conduct socio-economic activities if the prevailing situation is amenable for them to do so. It is a fact that crime and traffic movements have a bearing on the way business entities operate, and the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce's membership can be a testimony to this fact. I want to say, after witnessing pockets of lawlessness and reckless driving conduct on the country's roads, especially on the highways, central business districts, and residential areas, the public expressed concern with motorists, both private and public, who go through red robots, create third lanes, drive against oncoming traffic or one way, and pick and drop passengers at undesignated points. This has contributed to the chaos or congestion which has been experienced in urban setups. And the country has also witnessed a proliferation of unregistered vehicles on the roads, where you find that it's across the board. Company vehicles, family vehicles, even some government vehicles are moving on the country's roads without number plates. And this is against the tenets of the Vehicle Registration and Licensing Act, Chapter 13.14. Then we've also seen that haulage trucks are now frequenting residential areas. In the process, they cause chaos, they cause congestion, they cause accidents. Yet, in terms of the way business should be operating, haulage trucks should be having specific routes. If they are delivery trucks, there are certain times, previously, we had situations where haulage trucks or delivery trucks, at the times where they could deliver their goods, say, for example, to supermarkets, to traders, to wholesalers. But now, it's not the case. It's free for all. So in the process, they contribute to the chaos which we see on the road. And above all, criminals have taken advantage of the fact that family vehicles, company vehicles, and even government vehicles are moving on the road without number plates, where you see now that people are being robbed, people are being raped, people are being kidnapped, and the issue of pirate taxis and mshika-shika has taken center stage. And the criminals are also exploiting the issue of pirate taxis and the mshika-shika, where they now target and suspecting travelers. In the process, they are attacked. So as the law enforcement arm of the government, the Zimbabwe Republic Police has seen it fit to embark on the operation Tame the Traffic Jungle. And in this operation, where does business stand? I reiterate, where does business stand in the operation Tame the Traffic Jungle? It's a knowledge to all of us that workers and the property such as vehicles are lost through reckless driving conduct. And this includes the road traffic accidents. We have congestion and chaos, which makes it even difficult for workers and the executives to arrive for work on time. This means a loss in terms of productive hours to companies. So we implore the business to take a stand and support this noble operation. And we've also realized that some of the company's workers are also pirating this effect. And some of them are openly breaking road rules and regulations, such as going through red robots, driving against the highway. You see a branded company in a branded vehicle, branded with colors of a certain company, going through red robots, driving against oncoming traffic. So it entails that the business entities under the auspices of the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce have to support this operation. And we have also had accidents where some company vehicles are involved, where lives are lost, where people are injured. So definitely, we implore business to support this operation because they are also affected. And then we have also realized that business can also tap into this operation. As observations by the police, this effect have indicated that most of the public safety vehicles which are now being used on the roads, especially in urban setups, are ramshackles. They are dilapidated. And these vehicles are now a threat to public safety. And, we have a challenge in that, the transporters are not constantly revamping their transport system. How do you take the situation of somebody, using a combi, which is covered with cardboard boxes to carry passengers, to carry workers for work? Okay. So we are also imploring business to utilize this window, whereas the police were aware that the government has availed the duty-free facility for transporters, for public service vehicles, to import vehicles which can be used to carry the public on a duty-free facility. So we implore the business to engage the relevant arms of government. And for instance, import minibuses and conventional buses to tame the traffic jungle and drive out pirate taxis or mushika-shika vehicles. I just want to remind the business that, when we're growing up, the old transport model with minibuses, which could pick passengers or travelers for work after every 30 minutes. They would not wait for the minibus to be full of people. Once it had 5, 10 people, the minibus could go either to town or to residential areas. This is the model which we also want to implore business to take advantage and explore. And in this regard, this model can also assist to contribute towards the effective maintenance of law and order in the country. And before the onset of the operation termed the traffic jungle, the Zimbabwe Republic Police had a comprehensive engagement process. We engaged the Zimbabwe National Road Authority, the Central Vehicle Registry, CVR. We engaged the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe. We engaged ZIMRA because it's now clear that some of the vehicles which are being used to perpetuate mishika-shika or pirate taxis, they were smuggled into the country. So we also wanted ZIMRA to tap into the operation and find out how these vehicles which are causing chaos on the roads were brought into the country. Did they pay the necessary taxes? Did they pay the necessary dues to the tax authorities? Then the Minister of Transport Infrastructure Development, because people have complained about the state of the roads, especially in urban setup. And we are fully aware that currently the government has got the emergency road rehabilitation program. And we also have ZUPCO, who have assured us that they've got enough buses to carry passengers to work and from work. Then we also engaged the long distance bus operators under the auspices of the Zimbabwe Passenger Transport Organization. Then we engaged local authorities such as the city of Harare. And we are aware that the concerns have been raised over the issue of ranks in most CBDs. We are also imploring business to take also the opportunity to partner local authorities. People are saying, for example, in Harare, there is the challenge of commuter ranks. At the end of the day, people, they go to undesignated points where they are attacked by criminals. But we need business to also contribute in ensuring that their workers, their staff, as they board some of these public service vehicles, they do so in a safe environment. They do so at designated points where their safety is guaranteed. That's why I'm saying there are opportunities which can be exploited by business under the operation Tame the Traffic Jam. Yes, there are short-term benefits, there are mid-term benefits, there are long-term benefits. That's why I'm saying there are vast opportunities which can be exploited by business. We also have, had people who have said this operation is also affecting people, is also affecting workers, because the people are, going home late, people are arriving for work late. But we are also concerned because the transporters have made it clear to the police in our engagement that they have got buses, they have got vehicles which are ready to carry passengers. And we are saying they must also play a part. If there are challenges, now that there is this window which has been availed by the government, why can't they engage their colleagues in the business sector? Because certainly the opportunities are there. And these opportunities can also contribute towards curbing the chaos, towards curbing the congestion, which is normally experienced on the country's roads. And also, we want to assure business that Operation Tame the Traffic Jungle is not there to hinder business. It is there to promote business. It is there to assure business operators that as long they are doing lawful activities, the Zimbabwe Republic Police is fully behind them. That's why we are saying we are also very amenable to any constructive engagement, constructive contributions from the business on how this operation should proceed going forward. And we have also been assured by the Central Vehicle Registry, because people were saying the problem of number plates, which is affecting all sectors of the economy. It is because of Central Vehicle Registry, we do not have adequate number plates. And when we met 2 weeks ago with the Central Vehicle Registry management, they assured the police and indicated that they had adequate stocks of number plates. And they said to the police, can you assist us? Because people are not willing to buy number plates, to acquire number plates. People are not willing to change vehicle ownership. So we have said, in terms of the country's laws, no vehicle should be moving on the country's roads without being registered, without displaying number plates. And for those vehicles imported, the relevant arms of government, from Zinara, Zimra, the Ministry of Transport, they have said it's now possible for vehicle importers, individual importers, to register their vehicles at ports of entry. And when a vehicle is issued with those temporary number plates, the temporary number plates are not being issued so that it can carry passengers or travel on the roads permanently. They are issued so that the vehicle can move up to a point where it is kept and then conduct the formal registration process within 2 weeks. But the challenge which we have had in the country, people are delaying, people are deliberately driving vehicles with no number plates. Some of them, for example, a vehicle which has been imported from Tanzania, you see it carrying passengers. Then you wonder, how is this vehicle operating? Yet CVR have assured us that they've got adequate stocks of number plates. So going forward, there are immense contributions which can also be tapped by the business. Like currently, the issue of smart cities and smart policy. The police can't do it alone. Government can't do it alone. We want business to contribute so that we can also limit the issue of the human interface. People have spoken about corruption on the roads, but that corruption can only be tackled if there is collaboration between business, police, and other arms of government. Because, we have realized that there are immense economic benefits for companies to get a return in terms of their investment if they also contribute towards the issue of smart policing and smart cities. And then we are also saying, we've realized that you find that, for example, a company is operating in a certain area, or a supermarket is operating in a certain area. They get their clients who come there to park their vehicles. But the roads around that vicinity are dilapidated. They are in a sorry state. Then we are also saying, through the social responsibility programs by companies, by business, they can also partner government to repair those roads within their locality, and in the process claim the necessary tax benefits. That way, they also be contributing towards safety in the country. Then we have also realized this challenge where you have certain roads being overwhelmed. Everyone wants to travel to work or from work through a certain road, yet there are feeder roads, which can also, business can partner government to say, let us work on these roads, and they allow, motorists to utilize these feeder roads. In the process, we decongest certain roads in urban setups, be it in Bulawayo, be it in Harare. And then the issue of traffic lights. For example, in Harare, we've had traffic lights which have not worked for over 3 years, 4 years. This is not the business of the police. And instead of police officers focusing on core duties, on other crime-related matters, we've had to deploy police officers at traffic lights which are not functional 24/7, Monday to Friday. And this has got a bearing on policing, because policing is expensive. Policing requires resources. So we are saying businesses can also work with local authorities, work with relevant government ministries to ensure traffic lights which have not been operational for longer periods, they are repaired, because they are rogue motorists, they are rogue elements who are also taking advantage of non-functional traffic lights. Where they reach traffic lights, they want to be the first to proceed, even if they were not the first to arrive. That's why we are saying business can also tap into what we have discovered through Operation Tame the Traffic Jungle. And after realizing that since the 12th of September 2023, that this operation, if sustained, if supported, it can go a long way in addressing some of the challenges which have been seen on the country's roads. The public has implored the Commissioner General of Police, Commissioner General T.G. Matanga, to ensure that the operation continues. And the Commissioner General of Police has indicated that this operation will continue until further notice. So in this regard, I want to implore business that can you support the police so that you also operate in a safe environment? And also that there are, benefits to be realized in terms of the business support for the operation Tame the Traffic Jungle, in terms of the maintenance of law and order, and also in terms of businesses getting a return for their investments in view of the various economic activities obtaining in the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Assistant Commissioner, for that brilliant presentation. Right. Just to recap on the issues that the Assistant Commissioner touched on. Yes, in terms of promoting good social and economic activities to just allow business to carry on with their business without any hindrances. This is why they came up with this operation. You have also highlighted something that we always talk about when we are driving to work, the issue of haulage trucks. Go to Kickman there, whether in the morning or in the evening, the road will be chaotic. These haulage trucks, they can break down, like on the intersection, especially Harare Street and Kickman. And that situation is quite chaotic, especially during peak hours. Yeah, and the Mushika Shika. maybe someone is going to also try to raise that contribution. But I've noticed that along Takawira, just right in the face of local authorities, the mshikashikas that go to Parenyatwa and Avonde, they are always, having a chase, mouse and cat chase with police almost on a daily basis. They can disappear for 5 minutes and you find them there already back. So it's something that we have also highlighted about the mshikashika. Yeah, I just want to pick on, you also talked about ranks, the issue of ranks. Yes, it's something I think that authorities need to look into, because at the moment you find that maybe that's the reason why people always want to go to board lifts at undesignated areas, because our ranks are not that organized as it used to be. And also the issue of pickup times, we've actually mentioned that, which is quite pertinent. In the old, you used to get the United buses or Zupco buses. They would just come, at designated times, and even if the bus is not full, it will just take off and go, and then another one will come, which is very, very pertinent. You also mentioned about corruption on the roads. Yeah, this one is quite rampant. I don't know what was happening during this or what's happening during this operation, but if you get into town or in the city center, you get to observe a lot of order. The town is not that congested as it used to be. You also mentioned about the dilapidated fleet, where you find, people are traveling all the way from Glenview to town with a combi that has got no, screens, and cut boxes are, put on the side. Those are what we call the windows, which is not good. And I also think as a country, it's not a good reflection. If a foreigner come and they see those combis, it actually erodes that, trust, especially when investors are coming. They wouldn't want to see something like those, the matatus. In Kenya, they call them the matatus. Okay, so I was just highlighting the points that Assistant Commissioner has raised. So I don't know, Assistant Commissioner, if you've got anything to say before, because I'm not yet seeing any hands up. Maybe you might want to just recap. By the way, those who are joining us, my name is Timothy Zafmane. I'm the co-host for this session. I chair in the ZNCC, I chair the portfolio on arts and entertainment, and I'm also the marketing manager for CoverLink Insurance. Okay, so Rino Mapeter, you can come in as soon as Assistant Commissioner responds to. So, Assistant Commissioner, you can.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fumane. On the issue of corruption, is something which the police is taking seriously. Since the start of the operation, we've had to arrest over 5 police officers. We've been demanding bribes from transporters to allow vehicles which are not fit to be carrying passengers to also, protect them. And we also want business to support us, because we are told there are even citizens who are saying we are now acting as a link between the police and transporters. If a vehicle is impounded, give us money, then we'll share with police officers, then we take your vehicles out. Or they would say, all illegal combi operators, those who do not want to register their combis with the relevant arms of government, can you put them under my name? Then you give me $30 per day. Act as a protection fee. So these are cartels which you want business to also assist us to drive out. That's why I'm saying there are opportunities which can be exploited by business in this operation. And also, for the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce to encourage business operators to be honest, to operate in terms of the law, and the police will assist them to make money legally.
Okay, thank you. I can see Mr. Mapetere.
No, thank you very much, Director of Ceremony. I hope I'll get the title correct for, is it Assistant Commissioner Nyati? Okay. My comment, which leads into a question to you, is I agree with your assessment in terms of the challenges that we do have in the roads and in other areas that require policing. So today we're talking about roads. And in my view, the problems are largely behavioral and that have become a culture. I would like to pose a question to you to say, maybe you're already dealing with it. Do you think it is important to have a trust that is really, apart from the legal aspects of Munapara Mosha no Sungwa, but also to have a shared responsibility to reverse a culture that is already creeping in? So my question is sort of vague. I may need to give you examples that have something to do with road traffic and say, this is now really a cultural thing that is set in. 2 or 3 examples. At some point, about 5 years ago, my mother was involved in a traffic accident and police really helped us, the Gweru guys. So when I had gone there and traveled there to see her, I stopped at a robot by Standard Chartered Bank, and the lines are not very clear, but I actually committed a crime because Nandripa stop sign Bandagapfura line. Now, it is a crime. But what then happened there is immediately I had 5 officers that just jumped from the verandas, because Panama veranda my shades. One at one bonnet. So initially, because I myself am not a criminal, I got very angry. But why are we creating a culture? Criminals, and that issue, to cut the long story short, I think he was the person commanding Gweru, because I made a lot of noise even in the police cells. No, let's treat each other zvakanaka. That's an example of culture yatoapo yekuti mboma dziri kubuda. Obviously, yes, to fight criminals, but then it becomes a little bit indiscriminate. I'll give you another one. So, you know, we've had about maybe a decade, 6 to 7 years, where the culture was police would be present per road, right? On the highway patrol. Now, we want police on the road as a citizen, because Tikavashaya, there will be a problem there. But then they were now known for being on the road, for not just policing, but being on the road. Toramari United, you had to budget because you're going to have 10, 15 roadblocks, and pay one way or the other, you're going to pay something. So I'm not attacking police, but I'm saying it then became a culture, even us as citizens. Tata was about culture road. So it's both the police and the people. Do you think we should also, in our methods of fixing this, also be looking at culture and jointly work together to say, what can we do culture ya mwana, ne culture ya maporisa? Long story, but I hope I made my point. The issue is culture, not culture a police state, but even a public. What can we do to change the mentality? Thank you.
Okay, over to you, Assistant Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tafmane and Mr. Mapetere. You are on spot, Mr. Mapetere, when you talk about the issue of culture. What do we want as a country? How do we want business to operate? How do we want business to be viewed in our country? You know, I've engaged with people from neighboring countries who say, we are surprised with the drivers in Zimbabwe. If they're in their own country, they behave as if they are animals. They don't recognize, they don't observe road rules and regulations. come, when they cross the border into Zambia, into Botswana, into South Africa, Zimbabweans are, some of the best drivers. I'm telling you, our colleagues from the policing sector they've told us this. Then we've said, if they can do it in neighboring countries, why can't they do it in their own country? So definitely, Ms. Mapetere is on spot. We need a culture, a mindset for the police side, for the business side. You have a challenge with some business operators who want to operate their business by hook and crook, who put aside money for their drivers to negotiate with the police officers because they've got vehicles which are not certified fit to be on the road. And when you want to caution, they say, vanyati mautikanganisira basa. Isusu tinowirirana navakomana ava. Ndozvatinoita parod every day. We have such business people, but we also have the people like membership of Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce. We have got ethics to observe, ethics to protect, a brand to project. And we are saying the partnership of business bodies, such as Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce and the police, where we also talk about culture in terms of policing ethics, culture in terms of business operations, will go a long way in addressing some of the challenges in terms of policy, in terms of business, which we see in our country. This also cascades to local authorities. I believe the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce has got the capacity to assist local authorities to remodel the way business is conducted in CBDs. In the process, they assist in the maintenance of law and order. They assist in the fight against corruption on the country. In earnest, not by giving a piecemeal approach or by having talk shows, but in earnest, I would tell you, if we have that concept, it will go a long way in addressing some of the challenges which we face on the country's roads.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Mapetere, are you satisfied?
Yes. I'm happy that it's a mutual feeling. Just a quick comment there. Patakakura isusu kusaenda kuchikoro waitorowa nehana. When COVID came for 2 years, kids were not going to school. Kuchidzosa that culture. It became something else. I agree. Thank you very much, Amanzat.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mapetere. While we are waiting for someone to raise their hand, I just want to direct this to the Assistant Commission. The issue of centralization of the operations, the operation that we are currently undertaking. When I say centralization, I'm talking about places where people go and pay their fines. I hear quite a lot of people complaining that we have to move from office to office to pay your fines. I don't know whether that one has been addressed as of now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fumane. Fines can be paid anyway at any police stations throughout the country. And this has been made clear by the Zimbabwe Public Police Command to all officer commanding provinces and the district and officer in charge stations. The issue which needs clarity is the issue of clearance of impounded vehicles, where we have had some of police officers, conniving with the local authorities staff. For example, in Harare, where a vehicle is taken to the seat of Harare Central Stores Yard without being cleared, without being booked in police books, and at the end of the day, money exchanges hands. So we are saying any vehicle which has been impounded has to be booked at the local station. There must be a register for that, and an indication made on why that vehicle has been impounded. It's not all traffic offenses where a vehicle has to be impounded. And we have said, from Shika, there are no excuses, to be honest. There are no excuses for pirate taxis or these will be impounded. And we'll call in the VID guys, we'll call in Zinara, we'll call in Zimura. so that they can also be checked on how they are operating in terms of the country's laws. But for those registered businesses, we've got all the proper paperwork, the required paperwork for their operations. If they are vehicle, say for example, it's a company, if the driver has contravened a law which says he has to pay a fine, then he has to pay a fine. If he goes through a road robot and is to go to court, then he has to go to court. The vehicle will not be necessarily be impounded. But we are fully aware that some of our police officers have taken advantage so that they can exploit the driver, they can exploit if in companies. Then we are saying the company executives should feel free to engage us. They can utilize WhatsApp number 0712 800 197 or to phone the National Complaint Desk number on 0242 703 631. Where they are operating in a certain locality, they can go and see the local officer in charge station, the officer commanding district, affectionately known as DISPO, or the officer commanding province, affectionately known as the PROPO. Where they are not assisted, then they are free to engage the Commissioner General of Police office at police headquarters.
Okay, thank you very much. We have a contribution here, which reads my contribution. Okay, it's disappeared. My contribution is, can we increase fines so that people do not break the rules? I have been to another country. Let me get that one correct. I've been to another country and I was told to pay highest fine, which was 1,000 euro. No one dared to break that rule for 1,000 euro. And then someone is asking whether you can repeat the phone numbers. I think they just want to get the numbers correct. So the contribution there is, can we not increase fines as a deterrent to this law?
Thank you very much, Mr.
That is currently happening.
Firstly, the contact numbers. The National Complaints Desk number is 0242 703 631. I repeat, 0242 703 631. Or WhatsApp number 0712 800 197. 0712 800 197. Then the issue of fines. You know, fines are regulated by the Ministry of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. And the Zimbabwe Public Police has constantly engaged the relevant ministry to say some of the fines which are being paid currently, they are too low, especially for people who go through red robots, people driving against the oncoming traffic. For example, US $5, because there are people who are taking advantage that I'll pay a fine and then I'll be allowed to go away. You know, the contribution is very spot on. Where you find that in some countries, it's very scary if you commit a traffic offense. The fines, they will kill you. The fines are heavy. And the motorists do not dare commit an offense because if they don't pay a fine, they'll go to jail. And we are happy, we are engaging the relevant ministry, the Ministry of Justice, but we are also saying our parliamentarians must come on board. As a country, we must not make it cheap for somebody to commit an offense. Let's make it cheap for people to comply, for people to enjoy the benefits of operating in an environment where businesses get a return for their investment. So I totally agree with the contribution to say the relevant arms of government must make sure that some of the fines are, reviewed, and also employ parliamentarians. Yes, I know some of them, they will say, but our supporters, the moment you raise fines, our supporters not afford. We should not make it affordable for people to pay a fine. Fines should make it very hard for anyone who wants to contravene the country's laws. So definitely, we also want the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce to support us and implore the relevant ministry to ensure that our fines are reviewed. Thank you very much for the contribution.
Okay, thank you very much, Assistant Commissioner. Do we have any contributions, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes, there's another one in the chat room.
You can come in.
Yes, there's another one in the chat box from Shinoma Petere. Instead, how can we approach the problem that is created by creation of operation of the law? The moment a new law is created, in most cases, an opportunity for rogue police officers to catch and release is automatically created. Should we also not look into whether these officers need a reward system that does not make them criminals in any attempt to just get by? And also, do police have the necessary resources to execute their duties? Sometimes booking someone means taking them means taking them to a station, but the police team are using personal vehicles and on fuel. Will it be worth the trouble? That's the question in the chat box.
Over to you, Assistant Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Lois. You know, we are fully aware that there are some police officers who try to take advantage of existing operations. That's why we are saying, going forward as a country, we want business to support the issue of smart policing, where you find that we limit the physical interface and we focus more on the use of technology in terms of policing, where you find that if a motorist commits an offense, it's captured on camera and it reflects in the control room, and it also reflects where this person will be accessing various services. He will not get those services, or she will not get those services if he or she does not clear a particular traffic ticket or offense. So that's one of the issues which are saying business should come on board. Business should support the government. Yes, government is trying its best to make sure that the issue of smart policing comes into fruition. But also remember, they've got other areas to look into, and currently they are pursuing it. And then the issue of smart cities. This is something the business can also tap into. So that, for example, in Bulawayo or in Harare, we have, a smart environment where business conducts its operations, where business gets a return for its investment. But we need everyone to come on board so that we tame some of these traffic jungles once and for all. And we only have the police officers coming on the roads to react to particular situations, because everything is now being done through smart policing, through technology. I want to challenge business. Please come on board. Work with the government so that we address the issue of corruption, we address the issue of congestion, and also the issue of chaos on the roads.
Thank you very much. This one again, Assistant Commissioner, the issue of Windies. If you get into the CBD, you see indeed the way how they harass, motorists, especially women. At Mbari Musika, you can find them literally wanting to lift or to carry a passenger into the bus, and such inhuman behavior. I don't know how police are going to be dealing with that one. And also the issue of Windies hanging at the back of combis. Just yesterday, I saw someone, a young guy who was hanging at the back of the combi. And you know how dangerous that move can cost the life of the Windie, or even the person who is like trailing behind. I don't know how those two issues are being dealt with in view of the current operation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fumane. Since the 12th of September, 2023 up to today, this morning, we've arrested of a total of 3,804 touts. But surprisingly, one issue which has been puzzling the police, these touts are employed by certain transporters, particularly in the public service vehicle sector. And they've got touts wars. For example, in Mbare, at Road Port, in Harare, along Samora Machel towards the Harare showground. And we've always engaged transporters, particularly under the Zimbabwe Passenger Transport Organization, and said, people know where they want to go. Why are we employing touts? Surely, if the business takes a stand, we know that the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce has got also transporters under their armpits. They can work with the police to address the issue of touts, to say we don't want touts at our buses or in our buses or at our ranks. And I tell you, if business and police speak with one voice, you will not see these touts. Because every time we arrest them, taking them to court, they come back because somebody pays them a salary. So that's another challenge. And you also have a challenge that some of these touts in community ranks, they are also perpetuating the issue of drug abuse, abusing alcohol. So that's another challenge, which you also say the police cannot tackle alone. We need the support of the public. We need the support of the business so that we create an operating environment for business which is safe.
Okay, thank you. There's someone, Michael Zuza, is saying, thanks so much. I think this should not be an operation, but police daily duty. I know the background where Michael is coming from, because after this operation, then things get back to normal in brackets for the operators. They are just waiting for the day police is going to announce that the operation has now been or stand down, as it may, and then they will say, we are back to business.
Mr. Fumane, one thing which I want to make clear to the business is that initially the Commissioner General of Police had indicated that this operation will conclude on the 26th of September. And the way people were getting excited to say, yeah, the operation is ending, so we are going to continue with our unlawful activities on the roads. And the Commissioner General of Police has seen it fit because of public outcry to say this operation should continue until further notice. So I want to assure our business that this operation is continuing until further notice. That's why we are saying, as your police service, we will receive any suggestions so that we take this operation as a way, as a platform of ensuring that there is a sanity on the country's roads. And I also want to challenge this to also engage local authorities on the way they are also operating in terms of these vehicles. For example, in Harare, every street corner, you see the combis there, you see Mshika, and we are told some of the local authorities are taking money from these combis for operating from those corners, but there are no ranks, there are no toilets. So that's why we're saying this operation has been an eye-opener. Eye-opener in terms of the maintenance of law and order, eye-opener in terms of the opportunities which can be exploited by business as long as the local authorities engage business in a genuine manner. Definitely, we can go a long way in setting a business model which benefits all of us.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. We don't seem to have any hand up or any new message in our chat box. So I think
Excuse
at this
me,
point
Chair.
in time, let me just take this time to, yes, ma'am.
Yes, I just wanted to ask the Assistant Commissioner on the current operation he spoke about. It's like last week while I was dropping my son in Denise, then uniformed officers just got into my car, accusing me of doing moshika-shika. So I just want to ask if it's possible to deploy police officers with uniforms so that we easily identify them, taking into account the high rise of car hijackers. How are we able to identify if it's not a thief or it's a genuine police officer in a short period of time? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alois. I have honestly taken that on board, and now we engage our operations department so that people do not take advantage of the current operation. And also for businesses who want to get in touch with me on work-related issues, my official number is 0716 800 107. 0716 800 107. And that's why I'm saying the police is there to ensure that business entities get a return for their investment. And we want businesses to also engage the police if there are issues which they feel the police should address. Even positive ideas to say, police, can you also adopt this technology? Can you also adopt these ideas? Because policing is for all Zimbabweans. And we cannot operate in a vacuum. We operate through the support of the public, through the support of business. Then in terms of vehicles, I want to put it on record that the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, President Dr. Edi Mnangagwa, has availed vehicles to police before the elections. All police stations in the country now have an operational vehicle, which was allocated recently. And we have been given fuel. As we speak now, all our police stations have got fuel. So there's no reason whatsoever for a particular police officer to claim that he is using his or a personal vehicle to attend to scenes, because the vehicles are there. And if there are police stations out there who are claiming that, let me know the police station, then I'll tell the Commissioner General of Police. Because we have got a record of all the police stations, we have got new vehicles. And then what it means is there is no need for any police officer to take advantage of business, to take advantage of the public. Of course, there's the issue of accident, where you find that maybe because of recklessness, some of the vehicles might get involved in accident. But all in all the police stations as we speak now, they now have operational vehicles. The lack ones might be having two. So definitely vehicles are now there at police stations.
Yes, both were saying thank you. Is this number also a WhatsApp number so that we can share some of the important videos or images?
And
then someone is also well done on vehicles, well done on resourcing our officers.
Thank you very much for the compliments. We also applaud the government for what they are doing. This also includes the issue of stationery. The government is working around the clock to ensure that the police officers get the necessary stationery. I know there are members of the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce, for example, who are in the beef industry, who claim that some police officers ask them to pay a certain amount so that they can clear their capital for stationery. That issue is being addressed. Again, we don't condone corruption in that sector. As for the WhatsApp number, I'll leave my personal WhatsApp number with the ZNCC Secretariat, so that business can also engage me. As long as it is done in a genuine manner, we are willing to ensure that business going forward, they also engage their police on a daily basis.
I think my last contribution, this one is maybe outside the today's topic. I was reminded by the guy who raised the issue of videos and images. We continue as a public, we continue to see disturbing videos of police officers. You know, we have taken high substances, and they are not able to walk. And in some instances, you find them crawling, on their knees. And for that matter, in police uniform, how is that being dressed or addressed?
Thank you very much, Mr. Fumane, for raising something that is very, very important. We do not condone the abuse of alcohol by police officers. We do not condone some of these misdemeanors, where you see that police officers are captured doing all sorts of things, activities which tarnish the image of the police. And what we have done, where a police officer is captured and there's evidence, we will ensure that one, we take disciplinary action, two, they lose their work. And we are also grappling with some police officers who are also abusing drugs, the so-called motoriro, the crystal meth, is something which we also want even business to also monitor their workers, to also counsel their workers, because we've realized that the issue of drug and substance abuse is across the board, in families, workplaces, including the police, where we have even Mama Police Agnostic. And the Commissioner General of Police has taken a stand to say, we don't tolerate such police officers. Besides dealing with them in terms of the disciplinary court, yes, we also try to assist them to get counseling and to be rehabilitated, but we will not condone police officers who engage in acts where they are found to be abusing drugs or to be acting as conduits for drug dealing in our country or for drug trafficking in our country.
Okay, thank you very much, Assistant Commissioner Pronyati. Lois, I don't know if you have got anything. Let me maybe hand over this time to you, Lois, so that you can dismiss us.
Thank you, Mr. Tafumane. First, I would like to thank the Assistant Commissioner for taking his time to come and address us on the special and important matters regarding the regulation of the police. Thank you so much. And also, I'd like to thank him, Mr. Tafumane, for the moderating on which went on so well. Not forgetting our distinguished guests, we value your support and we kindly urge you to be part of the chamber by joining these agencies in membership. We look forward to see you again next Friday as we take on our next episode. Thank you so much. See you again next Friday. Thank you, Commissioner, once again.
Thank you very much, Lois. Thank you, Mr. Tafumane. Thanks to all the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce membership. May you please enjoy